Hi girls, welcome back. Standard 5th to our second term portion. We are going to study about EVS1, that is science, which is presented by Ms. Shilpa Ribello. So we are going to study the lesson Constituents of Food, and this lesson we are going to divide into two parts. That is, there will be of one lesson there will be two videos. So that is Constituent of Food part 1. So let's begin with our lesson. What is meant by diet? For what purposes do we need food? What are the different tastes that foodstuffs have? How do we experience this taste? Girls, if you go through these questions, naturally you will know the answers by your own ways, by your own thinking. We are going to study, but still you think on it by your own. So, we have learned that foodstuffs have constituents that are useful to us in different ways. Now you must be thinking where we have learned. Yeah, we have learned in the first term, Food for All lesson. The lesson name is Food for All. And in that lesson, we have studied about the food, about the foodstuffs. So let's us learn some more about it in the lesson Constituents of Food. Now as we saw, what is meant by diet? What do you mean by diet? So if you see in the picture, you can see there are chapatis, bhajis, different types of bhajis, curd, then curry, sweets. So what it is? We all have this in the lunch time, that is in the afternoon or in the night for dinner. Even we have the morning breakfast and the evening breakfast. So all whatever we eat in a full day, that is morning breakfast, your afternoon lunch, evening breakfast, your evening snacks, yeah, and night dinner. So all whatever we eat during the day is together called our diet. Whatever food we have, it goes in our stomach, that is known as diet. So what we call as all that we consume means eat during the day is together called our diet. So full day whatever we eat, it is known as diet. Now, living things take food and water. Naturally, if we want to live more, then naturally we should have food and more water. And when we have food and water, we use it for the variety of purposes. So what is that? For what we use? First one, obtaining energy. Second, growth of the body. Third, to carry out day-to-day functions of the body. And fourth, to fight diseases. So first is obtaining energy. To obtain energy, to get energy. So why we eat food? To get energy. Now we have studied in that last lesson that if mobile is not working, that means what happens? If the battery becomes low of the mobile will not work. So what we are supposed to do it? We are supposed to charge the mobile. Correct? Same way, if we will not have food, proper food, or if we will not have food, then our body battery will become low. So to get energetic, to get the proper battery charge of our body, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to have proper healthy food and proper water and lot of water. So then only we can get energy from it. Second, growth of the body. If we see, our body is growing. Now especially when you celebrate your birthdays every year, you must be reviewing the photos. So you can see your photo from the first year till now. So there are many changes in your body, and why? Because of the growth. So now for growth also food is more important to carry out day-to-day functions of the body. Now what functions? What day-to-day functions we do? We have functions? No. Functions means, for example, body movement. We walk, we jump, we play. So that is body movement. We study, we write, we listen to the videos. So this is body movement. Then the digestion takes place. When we eat, the digestion takes place in our body. Blood circulation takes place. Respiration takes place. And so these all are the functions of our body. Even because of this, we do lot of activities. So if we have the proper and good food, healthy food, and the proportion of water is good, in good quantity, if we drink the water naturally, we can do lot of work. We will be active. In short, we can say as we will be active to do all kinds of works. And the last one is to fight against disease. If we have the proper good healthy food which is prepared at home, homemade food, then naturally we can fight against disease. Means nothing will happen to us. We will be healthy person and no disease will harm us. So for this purpose, to obtain energy for growing, to carry out the functions of our body, and to fight against disease. So all this, because of this, for this purposes, we need food and water to live. Now, which are the various groups of foodstuffs? Name the ones you see in the picture. There are 3 pictures. Which main constituents of food do we get from them? So if you see the first picture, you can see fish, chicken, butter, eggs, fruits, different types of fruits, milk, oil. Second picture is the cereals, pulses, grains. And the third picture is about the different types of vegetables. So can you guess, girls? Which of the main constituents of food do we get from this all? Yes, we get carbohydrates. So there are 6 main nutrients which we get from this food, from this constituents of food. So what are they? Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fiber, roughage. Fiber is also known as roughage, vitamins and minerals. So all these 6 are the main nutrients in our food, and they are needed in the large and small quantity of in our body. They are needed in a large and small quantity in our body, and then only our body will be active to do the different kinds of work. So what are the main? There are main 6 main nutrients in our food are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fiber, fiber is also known as roughage, vitamins and minerals. So energy giving nutrients, they are, what are they? They are carbohydrates. So now this carbohydrates is divided into 3 parts: starch, sugar and fiber. We are going to study this. Carbohydrates are divided into 3 parts: starch, sugar and fiber. So the main constituent present inside the food material are carbohydrates. They are the main part. Carbohydrates play an important role in our body. So they are the main parts. So Basically, the carbohydrates is considered a staple food. It is known as the staple food in our diet. And the most important is carbohydrates are energy giving products or giving food, nutrients. Carbohydrates are giving us energy. So if we eat the food which is starch, in which food the starch, sugar, fiber includes, if we eat that, then naturally we will be very strong. We will have enough and sufficient energy. So maximum energy we can get from these carbohydrates. So what carbohydrate constitutes? It constitutes starch, sugar and fiber. So when these all three, starch, sugar and fiber, comes together, it forms carbohydrates. So starch is present in the cereals, potatoes. Okay. So starch is present in the cereals or grains, potatoes, and also the different types of grains. Now sugar is present in the fruits which we eat. Okay, also jaggery, and fiber is present in the fruits, in the different fruits and leafy vegetables, also in the carrots. So if this fruits food if we eat, then naturally we will get lot of energy in our body to do the different activities. So you are going to try this now. If possible, you try it. I am not forcing you. But if you are doing it, you will do with the help of your parents. Not to do any of the activities, girls, alone. You will take someone's help, that also elder person's help, either mummy, daddy, or if uncle, auntie, or your elder brother or sister. Not to do it alone. Whether it is simple one or whether it is difficult one, but you are supposed to do any of the activities with the help of your elders. Remember that. Now try this. Now we are going to start the topic carbohydrates. So you are going to do it. Materials. What are the materials? A piece of potato. You will take one potato and divide it into two parts. So take one part of the potato. Tincture of iodine, small bit, and a dropper. Okay. Now what you are going to do? Add some water to a tincture of iodine. You have taken the iodine into 1 or 2 drops. Put some water in that and dilute it. Mix it. By the help of dropper, take few drops of it, iodine and water, whichever we have mixed up, in that dropper and put it on the piece of potato. See here. Look in this picture. Can you see? So what it is said, that take a piece of potato and then with the help of the dropper you are supposed to put iodine on the piece of potato. Okay, what you will see, that the piece of potato turns a blackish blue. What you will see, that the piece of potato turns a blackish blue. So what it is? It is a starch. It is known as starch. So starch turns blackish blue when it comes in contact with iodine. So if you, what we have seen, that when you put iodine on that potato, what happens? It directly turns into blackish blue. So that means this potato contains starch. This potato contains starch. The starch is in this potato. So we can infer that there is starch in the potato. So why it turns blackish blue? What is the reason? Because the starch is present in that potato, and so it comes in contact with iodine, and so the starch which is present, we can see it in the help of the blackish blue color. Okay, and from where we get this? We get this starch food from plants. We get it, starch food from plants. Cereals like jawar, bajra, wheat, rice contain a lot of starch. We obtain flour from these grains. These grains form our staple diet. So cereals like jawar, if you see, you can see in this picture also, or if you can ask your parents or mummy especially to show your jawar, bajra, wheat, rice. These all are cereals. And what happens? These all are having lot of starch. They have lot of starch in it. And what we do? We obtain flour from these grains. Flour matlab atta. In Marathi we call it pit. So from jawar, bajra, wheat we prepare atta. From rice we prepare atta. We prepare pit. In Marathi we call as pit. In Hindi we call as atta. So we prepare it. And what we do? We prepare chapati, bhakri to eat. That means we eat this in the lunch time, dinner time, might be for the snacks. Correct? So these grains form our staple diet. We eat in the maximum. We eat this in maximum quantity. We eat more. We eat 2, 3, 4 chapatis. No? In afternoon time we eat 3 chapatis, 4 chapatis. In night time we eat 2 chapatis. So we eat in a maximum portion. So it is known as staple diet. We get energy from starchy foods. Our body uses this energy for different kinds of work. So this energy also keeps the body suitably warm. So can you see the picture over here? Yes, these all are starchy foods and we get energy from it. If we eat this, we get energy. Our body becomes strong. We are healthy. We become healthy person. And if we are healthy, if we get energy, if our body gets energy, then naturally we can do different kinds of work. For example, playing, studying, jumping, running. So all these different types of work, when we can do, when we will be active. So to remain active, to keep our battery charge of the body, what we are supposed to do? We should have starchy food. And this food keeps our body, this energy keeps our body warm. It keeps our body warm. So when the starchy food we eat are digested, sugars are formed. These sugars burn slowly in all parts of our body, releasing energy. In other words, sugars formed by the digestion of starch act as fuel for our body. So what they say? That when we eat starch, they are digested in our body. Whatever we eat, it is digested in our body. And when we eat starchy foods, when they are digested in our body, sugar is formed. Sugar is formed. So some of the people get diabetes. So that is the diabetes means more sugar. Okay, so sugars is important in our body. It is important in our body. So when sugar is formed, when we have the proper starchy food. So when it is digested, along with that starchy food, the sugars are formed. So it doesn't mean that whenever we eat sweets, honey, then only sugar become. No. When we eat rice, chapati, sweet potato, then also sugar is formed. Okay. So this sugar burns slowly in all parts of our body. In all parts from top till the bottom. In all parts of our body. And then slowly it releases energy. So that means we remain active full time, full day. When it releases our energy, we remain active full day so that we can do whatever work we want. And if it is not in the proper way, then naturally we are tired or feel restless. So to become active, we are supposed to have the starchy foods. And this starch food act as fuel for our body. How? When the petrol or diesel is put in the car moves. But if there is no diesel or petrol in the car, what will happen? The car will not work. It will not move. So same way, this starch acts as a fuel for our body to remain active. Okay. So we are going to see about the sugars. Foodstuffs that taste sweet contain different kinds of sugars. And for example, we can get jaggery and table sugar from sugarcane. And because it contains a sugar called sucrose. If you can see the picture, you can see. So sugarcane means ganna ya ik in Hindi we say. In Marathi we call as us. So the foodstuffs, whatever the foodstuffs, the taste is sweet. If they are sweet in taste, then naturally there are lot of different kinds of sugar involved in that. So for example, from sugarcane we can prepare jaggery, sugar, whichever sugar you use for tea, coffee. So that sugar is, you get it from sugarcane. So there are big machines from where this sugarcane is translated to the form of sugar. So whatever sugar is contained in that sugarcane, in that sugar, it is known as sucrose. What it is known as, children? Sucrose. So ripe fruits like mango, banana, chiku, also honey, milk, all contain various kinds of sugars. If you eat mango, the mango is sweet. Correct? When the ripe fruits, pakela, if you eat fruits like mangoes, banana, it is sweet. Even chiku also is sweet. Naturally, honey is sweet. So, this, if you eat in lot quantity, it gives us energy. So, this all things, if we eat in the proper condition, proper way, we get energy. Now, there is a second activity. You must be seeing it in your day-to-day life by your mother, when your mother is doing it, or might be your maid. Okay. So second activity, if you want, you can do it. It is very easy, but see that you try to do it with your help of your parents, especially your mummy. So what are the material needed? A fine sieve. Sieve means chalni. Sarni. In Hindi we call as chalni ya chalni. and in Marathi we call as chalni. So the fine sieve and some whole wheat flour. Wheat flour मतलब पीठ या आटा, गेहूं का आटा, गव्हाचं पीठ. Okay. Now what is the procedure? Sift the flour. You are going to separate it. So if you tell your mummy, she will show you. So what do you see in that? See, here is the picture. Can you see chalni ya chalni? Can you see the sieve? Yeah. So what you see in this, that most of the flour falls through the sieve in the down part, and some larger particles are left on the sieve. If you can see in that red button, you can see that there are larger particles which cannot go down, so it remains on the sieve. They are left on the sieve. So what is this now? It is known as skin or bran of the grain. It is also known as fiber. So fiber also is very important in our body, for our body. So when grain like jawar, wheat is ground into a flour, उसका आटा बनाना है, पीठ करायचं आहे. The particles in the flour are not all alike. Whatever the particles are there, whatever that peat and atta is there, it is not same. It is not same. So when the flour is sifted, छालनी separate करतो, when the flour is sifted, that is we separate it, we find the larger particles left behind on the sieve, and the fine particles, the thin particles are moved down. So whatever these particles are left, it is the skin or bran of the grain. See here in the picture you can see the flour, pit ya atta. So what happens? The grain, the skin, it is known as the skin or bran of the grain, whichever is left on the sieve, whichever the larger particles are left on this sieve is known as skin or bran of fiber. So in the process of digestion, fiber has a special function. Fibrous substances help the food to move forward in the alimentary canal at the right speed. So the undigested food is of no use to the body. So what happens when we digest this fiber? This is a very important function in our body. So what this fibrous substance do? They help the food to move forward in the alimentary canal at the right speed, which is in our body, alimentary canal. So this fibrous substance helps the food to move forward in the alimentary canal at the right speed. That means what? This fiber pushes the food into the alimentary canal at the right speed. So whatever undigested food, whichever food material we don't want it, waste material in our body which we don't need it, it comes out through the help of this body, through the help of this alimentary canal. So fiber helps to form stool from this undigested food. If a food does not contain enough fiber, it can lead to constipation. So fiber also is called roughage. So what they say, that fiber helps to form stool, energy, takat from this undigested food. That means if our food does not contain sufficient fiber, then what will happen? Our stomach will start paining. If we will not get the proper motions, then our stomach becomes big and our stomach will start paining. We will get stomach ache, vomiting. So, for that reason, fiber is must in our body. Fiber should be sufficient in our body. Bran is a fibrous substance. So, it is said that whenever the atta is prepared or the pit is prepared, flour is prepared, we are not supposed to separate it. We are not supposed to put in chani or in the chalni and separate it. We are supposed to have it directly, means same along with the larger particles and the smaller particles, so that we can get fiber. When the chapati is prepared, we can get fiber in that along with that. But still some of them doesn't like it, so they try to separate the larger and the smaller particles. So bran is a fibrous substance. Fruits and vegetables, especially their skins, whole grains and pulses are all sources of fiber in food. So before cutting the vegetables, we are supposed to wash it. We are not supposed to wash after cutting the vegetables. Some few vegetables are there where we are supposed to wash even after cutting it. But most of the vegetables we are not supposed to wash after cutting. So we are supposed to wash it first and then we are supposed to cut it. Okay? Even fruits, we are supposed to wash it first. For example, apple, pear, mango, then chiku. All this we can eat along with the skin. If you remove the skin, it is useless. So you will not get any fiber. So fiber is in the skin. Understood? The fiber is in the skin. So if you eat along with the skin these fruits, whichever fruits you can eat along with the skin, you are supposed to have it along with the skin. Then only the fiber will be going in your body. If you remove the skin, naturally it is useless. Orange, sweet lime, banana, you are supposed to remove the skin. But apple, pear, chiku, mango, you are supposed to eat it along with the skin. Whole grains, some of the grains are sprouted, so you are going to eat along with it. Then only you get the fiber. Okay, so these all are the sources of fiber in food. There is fiber in this food. So up to now, what we have learned, girls? We have learned about the 3 types of substances which are present in our food. Now which are they? That is starch, sugar and fiber. So all this, when it comes together, it is called as carbohydrates. It is called as carbohydrates. We studied this first also. But still what we have studied? We have studied about the 3 different types of substances which are very much present in our food. That is starch, sugar and fiber. And these substances, these 3, when all come together, it is called as carbohydrates. And the most important use of carbohydrates is to provide the body with energy. If we have this all starch, sugar and fiber fruits of food, starch, sugar and fiber food in good quantity, naturally our body will get energy. And if we get energy, then we will be very active to do all different kinds of work in day-to-day life. Now here, similarly, the layer of fat in the body protects our internal organs. An injury from outside does not at once cause damage to our bones or internal organs. Now if you see here, girls, this is a picture of skin. If you see, this is a picture of skin. So what is say that these are the hairs. If you see the two things, these are the hairs which our skin is having. On our skin there are hairs, no? So these are the hairs which is on our skin. So this is the first layer. First layer is our skin. Then if you see down after skin layer, there is a yellow part. There is a yellow part. See here. So this yellow part is known as fat layer. This yellow part is known as fat layer. So this fat layer which is present below the skin, it protects our internal organ of our body. So they say that the layer of fat in the body protects our internal organs. These fats protects our internal organs, and injury from outside does not at once cause damage. If we get injury, if we get hurt, then it will not damage soon. Why? Because our bones are protected by the help of the skin. So what is the new topic? Fats. Our new topic is fats. So oil is a fatty substance. Now you know oil which we use for cooking. So now if you put this oil on a paper, what will become? What will happen? Paper becomes translucent when a fatty substance is applied to it. If you see in the picture, the paper is there and the oil is sprayed on that. So what happens? Fatty substance is applied to it. What happens? Translucent. Paper becomes translucent, transparent. So paper becoming translucent is a sign of the presence of fats in the foodstuff kept on it. For example, girls, when there are oily things, oily eatables, by chance if your mommy is preparing some food items and they are oily, what your parents do? They take a tissue paper, they wrap in that oily, whatever the item is prepared, and then they try to give you. Why? And when you see that tissue paper, the oil is sprayed on that. So that means oil contains fat. That means oil contains fat. So fats in our food also provide energy to our body. So fat also is very important for our body. And what it happens when we have these fats? It provides us energy also. So if you see the fatty substances, what you can see? Oil, nuts, almonds, egg, butter, honey. So these all are fats, food which are having fats, and if we eat this, we get energy. So they give twice as much energy as carbohydrates. For example, if carbohydrates are giving 20%, then these fats are giving 40%. Okay, but these fats we are supposed to eat in small quantity in our diet, not too much. So sometimes what happens? Your mommy pours only little oil in the curry or whatever she prepares. whenever she prepares the food, she put one little oil. Instead of 3 spoons, she puts only 1 or 1.5. Correct? So, even though if you have that much, you get sufficient energy in your body. Okay? So, carbohydrates, if you eat you are supposed to have carbohydrates, but it gives twice as much as carbohydrates are giving, double of it these fats are giving. But these fats you are supposed to eat in a small quantity. So they say that they give twice as much energy as carbohydrates, but we include a smaller quantity of this constituent in our diet. So fats we are supposed to use in small quantity, not in bigger quantity, in small quantity. Still we get more fats. So what are the food? Cream, butter, ghee, oil, nuts, milk, meat, egg yolk. So egg yolk, what it is? These all are fats. These all are fats items, fat foods. This all contains fats. And if we eat this in a less quantity, then also we can get fats in our body, and it is useful for our body. We get energy with this. So the fats we eat get stored in our body. They remain in our body. So if food is not available for some time, sometimes you have the fasting and all, correct? So what happens? This whatever stored fats are there, they provide energy to our body. So whichever fats we eat, they are stored, they remain in our body. And whenever we never have our food, or whenever we are late to have the food, so what happens? This whichever stored fats are there, they give energy to our body. There is a layer of fat under our skin. So it gives shape to the body and like a blanket. So also prevents loss of heat from the body. So as we saw, here also is the same pic. There is a layer of fat under our skin. If you see the yellow color. So what happens? It gives the shape of the body. This fat gives the shape of the body. Sometimes we become very fat, sometimes we become thin. So this is because of the fat layer, and it is like a blanket. For example, in winter season, when we feel cold, what happens? We take a blanket on our body. So what happens? Our body gets warm with the help of the blanket. So same way it is here also, it is a blanket, and when we have this what happens? It prevents loss of heat from the body. Our heat becomes less. Now next thing, why are boxes of fragile articles? Now what do you mean by fragile articles? It's like TV, refrigerator, light bulbs, glasses, mirrors. So when we bring this, why they are packed with corrugated cardboard, thermocol or bubble wrap? If you see these boxes, if you see these things, for example TV, fridge, glasses, mirrors or the light bulbs, if you see the packing, you will see there are cardboards. There is a outside the box of the cardboard, then inside there is thermocol, then inside that there is a bubble wrap. So why it is being done? For what purpose so much packing is being done? For what reason? Yeah. So the cardboard, thermocol or bubble wrap, they protect the fragile articles. So when it is brought in the truck or in a tempo, small or big tempo. So what happens? This box is shake. So if it shakes, or if it falls down, or if it is heated by someone, so what happens? Whatever the articles are inside that box, for example TV, fridge, glass, mirror, they never damage. They will not damage at all. The precaution is taken for that reason, so that it should not be damaged. So same thing here. One thing more. Suppose a wall is to be built. Now you want to build a wall. You know wall? Yes. So the cement is there, sand is there, water is there. But the mason, whoever the person is going to build the wall, he is saying the most important material is still missing. You have brought cement, sand and water. But he is the person, the worker is saying that the main important thing is missing over here. So can you guess, girls, what is missing over there? Yes. What is missing? The stones and bricks are missing. So if stones, bricks along with the cement, sand, water, so if all these things are there, naturally the wall will be built. That means stones and bricks are the building blocks needed for a wall. If you want to build a wall, which is very important is bricks and stone. So if bricks and stone is not there and other three things are there, naturally it is of no use. So if bricks and stones are there, you can prepare or build a wall. So same way, girls, proteins are the building blocks of our body. Proteins also play an important role in our body. They are, whichever the blocks cells in our body, they are because of proteins. So proteins also are very important in our body. So the day to day, the body undergoes wear and tear continuously. Sometimes it gets injured, but the healing and prepare of our food, of our body, goes on all the time without our being aware of it. So proteins are necessary for that purpose. So now what do you mean by here wear and tear? The body undergoes wear and tear continuously. What do you mean by wear and tear? Yes, wear and tear means sometimes our body get damaged. Sometimes our body gets injured. Now when you are playing, naturally you are small children, you play. While playing you fall down. So somewhere you get hurt on the leg or on the hand. Correct? So it is injured. That means your body is damaged. So what happens? You supposed to heal and repair it. Correct? Means whatever the damage, injured part is there, it should be clear. It should be clear. So what happens? Because of that, proteins are very important in our body. If there is less protein in our body, naturally you will get hurt and it will be damaged and it will not recover soon. So if there are less proteins in your body, it will not recover soon. It will not cure soon. Whatever your injury is, it will take more time to recover your injury, your damaged part. So if you want your injury to recover or cure quickly, what you are supposed to do? You should have proteins, protein food, and which is very important and necessary for this injury part. So proteins are the required in plenty during the growing years of a person's life. In day-to-day life, in our life, Proteins are very important. We require proteins to grow for years for the person's life. Okay, so if you see here in the pic, you can see many things. Milk, curd is there, butter is there, fish is there, chicken is there, pulses, vegetables, almonds, many things are over here. So if you eat this, you get proteins also from this food. So these are the major sources of proteins, means major quantity, more quantity you can get from proteins you can get from this food. So all the different dals, pulses, groundnuts, milk and milk products. Now milk products means whichever is prepared from milk. No? Whichever the products, things are prepared from milk like yogurt, koya and paneer. This is prepared for the help of milk. Eggs, meat and fish. This is separate, different thing, but this all food is included for proteins. You have variety of proteins in that, more quantity of proteins in that, and if you eat this in our daily diet, in our everyday food, for lunch, for dinner, then naturally you will get, your body will get good sufficient proteins. Okay, so they say that to get the required proteins, our daily diet should include dal, pulses, pulses means grains, and also the milk and the milk products. Clear girls? I hope so. We will stop here for this first part. Okay, we have done with the half lesson. I hope so girls, you have understood till here. Remaining part we will do in the next presentation, that is the part 2. I hope girls you have really understood it. Now here is a small assignment, okay, which is given to you, and you are going to do it in your science notebook. Same book, you keep the same book and you can divide it into 2 parts, first term and the second term. So this is the second term first lesson. Okay, you are going to write question and the answer in your science notebook as a second term. Okay, you can keep the same first term ka book for the second, you can use it. Okay, no need of preparing new book. You can continue over there, and you are going to write these answers with the help of this presentation or from your textbook. Okay, so see you in the next presentation for the part 2. By the time, thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.